Hello, and welcome to another update video about Solana. Solana doesn't really show much weakness. You might not be aware of it, but I think tomorrow is this Solana conference that's taking place. So there might be a little bit of, you could say, hype and expectations before. And then let's see if that is going to be a buy the rumors, sell the news event. I'm not trying to predict this here, but I just point out that this is what we oftentimes see. Yeah, sometimes you see these events that are obviously announced, expected by the community. Whatever they will announce there, maybe it will generate a little bit of volatility. Typically, nobody cares about this stuff in a bear market, but obviously the crypto market is undergoing a bit of a phase change at the moment. So things are changing a little bit and we have decent odds, I think, that things get more bullish in the coming weeks and months. Yeah, so let's see. But typically we are, I would still prefer a wave 2 pullback here. I'm going to show you a potential micro count for this move to the upside as well. Did work on that this afternoon. But again, this is not very reliable. As I said, we want to keep it normally on this wave degree with altcoins, because if you go too micro, people think, okay, there's this micro wave 4, nano wave 5, I want to sell here, I want to buy, but that's not reliable. We're just focusing really on the price structure. Not every wave is intended as a setup, absolutely not. There are hundreds of ways how to trade this, right? But so far I can tell you that we haven't got any reliable information that a top is in place yet. I'm purely pointing out maybe tomorrow, the day after or so, which often happens after these events, we might see a bit of a sell-off. But we'll see. At the moment, the trend is still up. Not one of the levels I indicated to you has been broken yet, so we have to focus further on the upside. But the structure that we see suggests obviously exhaustion. We talked about that, yeah. So we started to see bearish divergences. We still see them here, for example, on the 4-hour chart. But I also made you aware in the last video that we have hit a support level on the 4-hour RSI, and trend lines and support levels can also act as signals on the indicators. So what could this be? If we say, okay, look, we had 5 waves down, 5 waves up of our support area back in September. So they are basically complete. We don't need any more highs, but they can obviously always extend. Then we said, okay, wave 1 could technically be finished. Let's see if wave 2 is starting. But we said we can only really confirm that wave 2 is starting, which is basically the corrective pullback that is correcting this impulsive price action to the upside. We said we can really only confirm that once we break below $29.50. That's really only the very first reliable indicator. It's not even confirmation, it's an indication. And then below the 50% fib level, we have further confirmation. And then as soon as we get here to this yellow target area, we would expect the wave A to find a low. Then we can calculate a target for wave B, and then we can calculate a target for wave C. And this is basically the yellow box support for a wave 2 pullback. When it shows, this will have to be adjusted depending on how much more we extend higher. But bear in mind, there is this trend line that's coming through here as well. So the 50% fib level seems to be a key level to watch here, because that is basically overlapping with this green trend line. Now, okay, if we talk about a potential micro count, this is not easy and it's not ideal in terms of proportions, okay? Absolutely not. But I know a lot of you are keen on micro counts, but just be aware they get invalidated easily because they are not reliable. They are just not. And they are more used as guide paths to understand if a trend is likely complete, or when we need to start to watch for a reversal. And I can tell you without knowing the micro count that we have enough waves in place and that we don't need to extend any higher, but we can. So we have 5 waves in place. This can get exhausted at any point. And I indicated to you when this breaks, I count it as a diagonal at the moment. So when this breaks, then this could be a sharp reversal. So yeah, if we say, okay, we had a wave 1 here, we had a wave 2, and then let me just put them here and then we double check that in a minute. 3, 4, 5. I think I actually did it here. So I looked at this on the weekend, but just wanted to label it together with you in the video. So we have 5 waves up here. But let's double check the microstructure. So the question would then be, okay, what is this, right? So we want to talk about that. Yeah, looking at the micro, I mean, you can visually see 5 waves here. So again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's just not ideal based on proportions, really. This wave 1 is basically a little too long. So that's what I don't like about this. Yeah, the first wave 1 was quite short. The lower degree wave 1 is longer. So yeah, I'm not too happy with that. But it's best I think we can do with this structure. And then obviously the question is, okay, what happened then here? Now I go to the 1 hour chart now. And the question is, okay, could maybe, based on this, if we have 5 waves up here complete, could the pullback have started? Yes, so there are 2 ways I'm looking, two counts I'm looking at on the micro, but they basically will only be validated once we start to see the pullback. Okay, at the moment the trend is still up, so they can easily extend further. So in one scenario, we could say we had a very short wave A here. That A wave is already in, far too short for me to really keep it as a reliable A wave. Okay, but hey, you know, there you go. This B wave, either we had an overshooting B wave or the B wave is unfolding as a triangle, but then I haven't got really enough waves in place to count a triangle yet complete. And then the C wave down later. So this would indicate a very shallow wave 2. So this is one scenario, okay, where basically this B wave is, you could say, unfolding as a triangle, and we already had, let me see, A wave, yeah, so this B wave is basically a triangle. And then we can label it as A, B, C, D, E. Okay, so be aware of that, and then it could break down. So that's technically valid. The question is it going to work out? To validate it, I would need to have at least a break below the D wave low at $31.30. Better, a break below $30.60. Yeah. The other interpretation would be that we're working here on an ending diagonal, and yeah, basically this wave 5 of 5 here is still unfolding. I'm not going to move the waves now, but it would be that this wave 5, okay, actually sits up there, and this would be a 1, 2, 3, 4, and now we could be working here on wave 5 and then down. So you know, we'll see. I just want to give you a few ideas for microstructures. They're not reliable. Don't treat them as predictive. They give you just some guide paths, give you a bit of orientation. What we essentially need to be watching for is a 1-2 setup, okay? Just a 1-2 setup. I don't really like this way, you know, the idea that we are, that we completed an A wave already, the B wave is a triangle, but it's a valid one. So I just leave it on the chart for now, as long as it's valid. We can go back to it in the next video. Yeah, that's my update about Solana. I hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.